Well, James Staniforth is principal at Shrewsbury College to tell us his thoughts on that decision. Well, first of all, on how preparations are going for results day tomorrow afternoon, James.
Yeah, good afternoon. Nice to speak to you, Ryan.
And you give us a bit of an insight into what it's like for you and your staff on the eve of results day, and a very different results day at that.
Well, we've got 720 A-level students who will be receiving their grades tomorrow, and they've worked very hard with the support of really excellent teachers and tutors and our student support team. So, although it will be unusual, and there's no two ways about it, unusual is exceptional, they'll still get grades of which they can be very proud, and I think the vast majority of them will be really pleased. In terms of tomorrow, we made a change a few years back, and our A-level results are published online to our students, so they're available from 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. We'll still be open at our English Bridge campus, and we'll have lots of staff there, not only because they want to see students who come in because they still sort of traditionally prefer to pick up their results, but also to provide advice and guidance about next steps. Many cases because they've done very well and perhaps wanting to upgrade their university choice, but also in the cases where they might not have been quite as successful as they'd hoped, and we can support them with sort of looking to go through clearing.
What did you make of Gavin Williamson's announcement today?
I think it's laudable that everything's been done to make sure that the students don't lose out in these most exceptional circumstances. You've got a situation whereby statistical modelling can never accommodate all of the individual students in our college and across the country. And what you really want to do is to avoid a situation where any individual suffers for something which is, they're just a victim of circumstances. So I think that's helpful in that respect. I guess, like most people, my concern is about the timing, which is, I woke up this morning, and I guess like many people, one of the first things I do is I sadly start looking at emails and start looking at the BBC website. First thing I read this morning, therefore, was about this triple lock that had been announced. So if it avoids a situation where students lose out, that's brilliant. I just wish we'd had a bit more notice about it.
So how will the college support students through what must be a really confusing time if they do need help from you tomorrow?
Well, I mean, as I say, in the first case, the vast majority of our students will get results of which they're very pleased and are delighted with them, and they'll be ready to move on to the next stage of their lives. So this is really about that small minority of students where things haven't gone quite as well. We'll look at them all on an individual basis, because it could very well be that actually, although the grades are in some ways disappointing, they've still got progression to university or onto an apprenticeship. And actually, they just wanted to go to a particular university, but there's another course that they can go to, which is really good, and they'll be very happy with that. And that happens every year, and we'll work through those sorts of things. The bit that's new this year is that we're going to be looking at the mock grades and compare those with the actual grades that have been awarded, and then determine whether we think there's some students that have lost out. And if they have, we've made a decision today that we will systematically appeal to the exam board on their behalf, rather than it being something that they have to raise. So we're doing a piece of work today and overnight and into tomorrow, because it's only when we're ready for 8 o'clock tomorrow morning to do that comparison.
James, thank you very much for the time today. What must be a busy day preparing for all of this, a very different A-level results day.